JoJo Phantom Blood Review. Oh, what is that shit? Fuck yeah, Doom! One of the first review videos I made for this channel was for Doom 2016. Since then, that video is actually my most viewed review video that I've made thus far. Since then, Nintendo actually released Doom 1, 2, and 3 on Nintendo Switch, and of course I did what any sane person would do and throw my money at the screen. I beat Doom 1, and not a week later, I bought Doom 2 and beat that in 2 days. And now here we are. I can proudly call myself a Doom fan, and since I had such a great experience with both OG Doom games, of course, I'm going to review them. So let's waste no time and get into the first 2 OG Doom games. Doom, one of the most influential FPS shooters of all time. Doom is, believe it or not, probably one of the biggest games to come out in this century. Developed mostly by a young John Romero and John Carmack, Doom became a hit immediately after its release, with the main factor being its ahead-of-the-time graphics and, of course, its notorious violence. It's even been said that all FPS games that came out after Doom were called a Doom clone by fans. This should probably give you a hint of how big Doom was back in the day. According to John Romero, the goal behind Doom was to create a more brutal and fast version of id Software's previous FPS game, Wolfenstein. It's not too hard to see that this was a major success. Doom became a hit and spawned 3 sequels, with the reboot coming out 2 decades later, with the second installment of said reboot coming out this November. It probably shouldn't be said that the main story of Doom was never exactly important, though you may have not known was that it actually used to be. The main writer of Doom, Tom Hall, actually wrote the Doom Bible, a design document aimed to pitch a fleshed-out plot, characters, and even design goals for the project. It was shot down by Carmack, however, but the full document still managed to get onto the internet. The original plot followed a science fiction/horror genre of a team of 4 playable characters, each being scientists on the moon who accidentally open a portal, not to hell, but a random portal that aliens, not demons, come out of. Like I pointed out, Carmack shot the pitch down and even suggested not having a focus on story at all. If you look up the plot to Doom today, you know what option they went with at the end. In Doom, the year is 2019, not a joke, and you play as an unnamed protagonist you know as Doom Guy or Doom Marine. It's actually supposed to be yourself, but we don't talk about that. You work as security in the Union Aerospace Corporation, UAC for short. After assaulting a superior officer, you are forced to work at a UAC base on planet Mars. In the year 2022, a transportation failure between Mars's 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos, occur, and as the game puts it, something friggin' evil starts pouring out from the teleportation gateways. Since all other people working at Mars have been killed, you are left as the last man standing, and since you hate demons, of course, your new goal is to simply kill them all. Like I mentioned before, the story to Doom is not at all important. It's a game about killing demons from hell on planet Mars with no other human characters other than you. Yeah, you can't really do much of that, but the background we do get is legitimately interesting. Doom's short but sweet story is, well, I just said it. It's short and sweet. Now time for the main event and why you bought this game in the first place. After playing Doom, I cannot play any FPS game where the character is slow. After purely witnessing Doom Guy's insane speed, I promised myself that I will never be able to play Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. If you didn't catch on, Doom's gameplay is super fucking fast and fun. You feel like a badass when playing this, or my bad, I have to be funny. Doom really makes you feel like Doom Guy. You run around, kill a shotgun baddie, pick up his gun, and use that gun to shoot an imp. That's basically the action in Doom. But when I was talking about running around and all that, it's true. In a level, it's like a labyrinth. You just run around and do whatever you want. You can complete this level in however way you possibly can. You can not kill any enemies at all, or you can kill them all and still get everything in the level. Doom's gameplay can only be described as addictive, in the best way possible, of course. Each weapon is easy and fun to use, with enemies with what seems like the perfect amount of health. Not to mention, each enemy is uniquely designed and just fun to kill in general. When you start Doom, you just have a pistol in your bare hands, but soon you'll have the BFG and chainsaw on your side. Sure, you can just kill everything with your bare hands if you don't want the stronger weapons, but just the mere thought of having a BFG or chainsaw or finding one in a level with a well-hid secrets motivates the player to just keep playing the game. And again, you don't have to get those. You can just kill everything with your bare hands if you really want to. Doom is split up into 3 chapters, 4 if you're playing Ultimate Doom or the Nintendo Switch version, which I'll be talking about soon. There's so much character in each level and chapter. There's corpses hanging in most levels, even some demons hanging. Demons actually kill each other sometimes, and there's plenty of alien and human blood scattered on walls and floors. My favorite thing about Doom levels are looking for the keys, or sometimes skull keys in most levels. This is satisfying feeling of collecting one of 3 keys could be vital to completing the level. It's just so damn fun. Every chapter, every level, every weapon has some sort of significance to beating each of the boss, and soon, the game. Doom's gameplay is perfect. Don't at me, I'm kidding, at me, I'm lonely. On top of that, there's also local multiplayer. You grab a buddy, choose any stage, and when I say any stage, I literally mean any stage, and start playing. Local multiplayer sessions may last like 10 seconds, but at least they're there. Hell, it has 4 players instead of 2 player actually. But now time to talk about Ultimate Doom, the Doom re-release, but with 1 extra chapter and nothing else. Before anyone asks, yes, this is the version you'll be playing on the Nintendo Switch. As I flesh consumed is the 4th and last chapter in Doom, and I guess it continues the plot? Not really, but all you really need to know is that it sets up Doom 2, okay? As for the chapter itself, I only heard that it wasn't made by most of the original id Software staff. It instead used a new team, and yeah, it's kinda obvious to see. The OG levels had enemies carefully placed and switches that actually, did things. Here, there's kind of a weird case of well-designed levels on the foreground, but once you actually get into it, it kind of looks like enemy spam. It's not bad at all, but compared to chapters like Knee Deep in the Dead, the first one, it goes down the toilet drain hard. Like the final boss in the chapter is legit over in seconds for some reason, and not to mention, it's a repeat from the boss from chapter Inferno. But overall, it's decent. I still have fun of it like the other chapters, but it's definitely not as good. Of course, I had to make a section for music. You know that one video essay YouTuber you probably watch? I bet you $20 he uses music from Doom. Composed by Robert Prince, Doom music was the pinnacle of both sci-fi and glitch music in gaming. Oh, I'd say it's still the pinnacle. At Doom's Gate, I Saw the Demons, Sinister, Suspense, Demons on the Prey are all part of the Doom soundtrack. And again, I bet you've heard them at least once. They're that good. They're that iconic. The music to Doom is a real headbanger, and it honestly has a little something for everyone in case of genre. I'd probably go far to say that Doom probably has the best soundtrack I've heard of any video game thus far. Yes, even beating Star Fox Assault. In conclusion, Doom is one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life. It's weirdly instantly replayable despite not changing anything when you start up a new game. It just has a sort of flair to it that makes you want to come back. It makes you want to defeat the cyber demon again. It makes you want to replay its great levels. Doom is just very fun and enjoyable. It has everything to it that makes a great game. Graphically, though it's outdated now, it still has that charming look to it that again makes you want to come back to it. It was so above its time that even today you can still tell what's going on, so graphically it's not even a problem. Doom doesn't exactly have any problems to it, but if you really wanted me to point out an error, the Nintendo Switch version I guess has a bit of a music slowdown, but other than that, Doom is just a perfect game, and that's not something I just say every day. Seriously though, Doom 1 is a masterpiece, which is why I will give it a